What's going on, YouTube? It is Team Gradelock here, and today we have another deck profile of the undefeated Team Gradelock. Of course, we came first place at White Plains. Me, Daniel McDowski, and the Mama John. Of course, Mama John is doing his deck profile of Bermuda Triangle, but this one's a very special one. It's not Highlander, it's Melody.
Technically, Highlander is the special one.
No, I was gonna say, I think technically Highlander is the
No.
There's some spice.
Melody is very special. Very special.
Particularly this one?
Yes,
Would you say?
particularly this one. Anyways, guys, remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and let's get on the deck profile.
Okay. Hi, guys. So, before anything starts, I do want to say that this deck overall did go X3 in standings. The team went overall undefeated, but me personally, I went X3. I'll go into my matchups after the deck profile, but I'm just going to go out. I'm just going to lay it all out for you guys, explain my reasonings of what I did. The deck itself is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, I'm not going to lie, guys. Bermuda got some really, really busted stuff. Melody is just overall...
Probably should add another really, but...
Yeah. I mean...
Really? Really?
It's, I hear 61k columns every turn is really good. Sometimes. So, starter is obviously going to be... actually, no. You have multiple starters. Wow, I'm Bermuda. That's right. But it's still going to be your generic draw one, because they all do the same thing.
He's not trash for anime.
Oh, well, okay. My answer is the question. My question has been answered.
We play Force Sonata. You have to play Force Sonata. This card is just really, really good. You want to ride her always, but the dumb thing about the deck is you can just ride her once and you're fine. You can make ridiculous numbers really fast.
But what does she do?
Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Look at top, reveal cards until you find a Melody card and then call it. And then her other card is her other ability is all Melody units receive 5k power. Vanguard Rearguard. So stack that with Karo and you start swinging for really big numbers really fast. Very self-explanatory.
That's BS, but I believe it.
4 of what John DeSilva and I personally think is like the worst card in the deck, in all honesty. I mean, you know, Boost is just like really underrated, you know. I think like just, you know, giving 26k boost is just really, really not that powerful, you know, guys? I mean, if you really can't tell, I'm actually trying to be super sarcastic here, but I think I'm failing. I mean, this card is just like really dumb.
Yo,
holy moly.
Call out a second copy when you ride it?
Like, I cannot believe they gave Bermuda Triangle a boost card, and not only that...
Restricted.
Instantly. It can search itself out with the Soul Blast 2 Vanguard ability.
So it's going to be an
on place. It's on place. That's important.
Yeah, it's on place on ride.
Thank God.
And then the Melody is it gains boost, and then when boosting, it gets 5k. So you stack this with like Sonata, you have a full backboard of these and a full frontboard of these, and you're just...
Exodia.
Yeah. Ramming your opponent's face in.
It's probably your only alternative ride option, though.
Actually, in some cases, I did want to be on Fina. But I'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, most of the day, you do want to be on Sonata, and Karo is going to be your alternate ride target. But I mean, it rarely happens to you because Bermudas right now have so many ways of just consistently fetching out the cards that you need. Anyway, so we play 4 of a good card. Then we play 4 Fina.
She thick.
Huh?
She thick.
She is so good, guys. Yeah, this one is Melody. She gains the intercept ability. And when you intercept with a Melody card, it gains 10k. Really good because normally you're just plopping a lot of resources, all your grade 3s onto the board and then swinging in. So if you have low cards in hand and you have multiple copies of Fina on the board, at least you're getting 10k intercepts. Or if you have multiple Finas on board, 20k intercepts, 30k intercepts. So really good. Yeah, I will tell you guys, in all honesty, this is very, very good against the Shadow Paladin matchup. My honest opinion. I'll explain my reasoning why when I go into my matchups. But yeah, 4 Fina. And that's all I play, guys. I don't play Blue Girl. I don't play Purple Girl. I just feel like, in all honesty, the sure rush power of just those 3 cards there just bring the deck to what it actually needs to do, which is plop your whole hand down, beat your opponent's face in, and oh boy.
She may.
Yeah, they're dead. Actually, you know what? Let me do these first.
Mini?
We play 4 Mini. When you read her, right, she sounds bad. Like, if you don't have a card with the same name as your Vanguard, you're putting 3 cards back. But in some cases, right, So her ability is when placed, counterblast 1, draw 2 cards, then you return a card from your hand. If you don't have a card with the same name as your Vanguard, you return 3 instead. So in most cases, you're just doing it so you can get the plus. If you have maybe you're going second, or maybe on your grade 2 ride rather, you ride into your mini, and then if you have another mini on board, then you're allowed to draw 2 and then maybe return a crit trigger back to your deck, or a heal, whatever. Or in some cases, maybe on like a final push turn, when you call her counterblast 1. Draw your 2 and then return 3 3 triggers to the your deck, and then call either a Fina, a Karo, or a Sonata over her, and then just make a giant beat stick and then drive check more crits. So, really good way to put crits back into the deck. An overall really good card. 4 of the most stupid cards in this deck, in all honesty. We play.
Yeah, common.
Hashtag low rarity for life.
This deck is supposed to be low rarity, okay?
Even though you pulled an SVR.
Yes. So we play for the Lizolette.
Probably too lazy to write it.
That too. I was very lazy to write. Okay. So ability is from hand. She can be called as a grade 1, and then when placed on van or rear, you reveal the top card of your deck. You can either soul charge it or call it.
Which is a once per turn skill.
Throughout the entire card.
That's
a hard once per turn. So normally the way you'd want to play her is if you ideally have
sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
If you have 2 copies of her in your opening hand, what you normally want to do, if you go first or second, it normally depends. But if you're going first, you're gonna want to call her on the back. Ride your grade 1, call one of her on the backboard to get a free unit, and then that next turn you can ride the second Lizolette, then call another unit onto the board. So you're basically getting free units.
Like your Musketeers or something.
Yeah, right. Super good. Or ideally, you just want to ride into her and just beat your opponent's face in. Overall, very good card. The Soul Charge also helps too, because if you're just on Sonata and you're not going to be riding, just being able to consistently find a way to Soul Charge and continue doing Sonata skill is really good.
Yeah. Probably never came up, but it's also very good.
Once or
denied a Carablast.
Yeah, once or twice actually, like having no Soul. Having her actually really helped, because then I could do Sonata.
Soul or Carablast. Yeah.
Soul. Because I would not be able to ride a Sonata or ride anything the following turn, but I had a Lizolette in hand, so I called Lizolette, was able to Soul Charge and then do Sonata skill, and then get a Karo, because, you know, I'm a sack.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Reveal 20 cards.
There's the card I needed. So we played 2 Brum.
Last minute ad?
It was a last minute ad, yeah. I added this in Friday before the event. Beforehand, I was only playing 4 Lizolette and 4 Mini, because I was trying to put in room for Blue Girl and Purple Girl, but the space just, it didn't work out. 8 grade 2s just does not work for this deck. You want to not be Gradelock, despite our team name.
That's what we want.
Yeah, this card actually in the mirror match is surprisingly very effective, just because a pressuring unit that has the counterblast, basically in the mirror match, you're just going to want to try and accumulate more resources than your opponent, because the resource game is the key in Bermuda Triangle mirrors. And the counterblast 1 pressure is really good. It eats up a counterblast for Sonata, but more times than not, it's when you have 60k plus columns, it just doesn't matter. Yeah, so 4 for. And then the 15k is like okay, I guess, but that rarely came into play when they were like attack your side, because most of the times I'd have a seer behind Brum and it wouldn't matter. Speaking of, we play 4 seer, grade 1 VR.
Mucho money.
Is it? I really don't know.
It's $15.
Oh, nice.
Not nice.
Good to know.
Oh, yeah, good to know. So this is how you get your Sonata every turn if you don't have Sonata, or your Fina if you need Fina, or Karo if you need Karo.
It's
But
you don't discard.
But you don't discard. You just
All you need is a grade 3.
All you need is a grade 3 in hand. So good.
And you get the one you don't have.
You normally don't want to ride her. You're actually gonna want to ride the trial deck girl, the draw 1, then discard, and then call her. Yeah. And then call her to try and get the grade 3 that you need. And then actually, if you go second, it's super nice, because then you can swing in for the rush. You would ride and then call her on the side and then rush in. And then actually, her secondary skill, the one where the unit in front of her cannot be attacked, is really, really busted for the early game. Because if you have a Sonata or a Brum or a Mini in front of them, you're not only making 18k columns to their 8k at grade 1 turns, but they can't rebuttal by swinging at your sides to diminish your resources, because they have to commit to Vanguard. And then you go in the following turn onto your Seer, or not your Seer, into your Sonata, and it just completely pushes them over. Like, that combo is just stupidly good.
Unfortunately, we're not in the format where retiring your
Yeah.
Is an actual thing.
I mean, I faced
You mean Kagero
I faced
is
Kagero. I mean, I faced Kagero in Shadows. That's
Listen, I tried my hardest for those words not to come out of my mouth. We could-
4 of the trial deck, girl.
Oh, you're
Yes,
hurting
it's
me
one
so
hollow. I have 1 hollow. Okay, calm down. I see you, Dan.
It's actually hurt so much.
No more wording!
So she's her ideal grade 1 ride. Almost every single game you're going to want to try and ride her, just because with her and your starter, you're basically drawing 2 cards, so it's filtering your deck faster. Other than that, she's also good just as a vanilla beater on board for early game rush. And for late game, if you're trying to filter, but I mean, that rarely happens. Most of the time after that, you're just using her for generic 10k shield.
Yeah.
At least I did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 4 of her.
You want my comment, John?
Yeah, I'd actually appreciate that. Only 3 Steza. So beforehand, before the event, I was actually running 4 Steza, but I rarely saw myself actually committing hard enough to call the Steza and say, for example, like if I rode her, to discard an additional grade 3 to drop zone to be able to counterblast 1 and draw a card. Because as good as that is, I would normally would have wanted to save my counterblasts for Sonata. In certain situations where I was just super rushing them, I would call the Steza and commit the counterblast, because if I had a Seer on one of my grade 2 columns, they'd still have to commit to Vanguard, so I could get the extra counterblast for the following Sonata turn. But because I didn't see myself rarely committing to her, I decided to bump her down and put in an additional slot for my grade 2. So that was my thought process behind that.
Would you say she's another instrumental unit in the mirror match?
You know, not actually. The mirror match is so weird. So the way I look at it is, if you go first in the mirror match, you have the higher advantage to push your opponent in. It's still back and forth regardless, but because it's all a resource game. But if you go first and you manage to establish your grade 3 board or your Exodia board, you will outgrind them 100%. But it's also a game of resources, right? So if they also grab more resources than you, then they're going to win. So it's kind of like a 50-50 thing with her.
Got it.
And then trigger lineup, self-explanatory. 4 heal, because I hear they're good. 4 draw PGs, because I hear they're good. And as we like to call them, 8 yellow cards, because I hear yellow cards are good. I hear orange is busted.
Yeah. Yeah, all orange. Unga bunga. I have a big stick. You have 3 big sticks. That's unfair.
I will say this overall, the deck is very self-explanatory. Call your grade 3s, call your board, swing in, make 60, 50k plus columns, and it's almost impossible for them to guard unless they have multiple PGs in their hand. Which is, if you're going against Protect, that's more times going to happen.
So what were your matchups today?
Not
yesterday.
Yeah, it's yesterday. What are you talking about?
Listen, man, I still...
Hold on.
Time doesn't matter for a video.
My matchup. So wait, that's premium. Okay. So yesterday's round 1, I fought against Shadow Paladin. Oh yeah. Round 1, I fought against Shadow Paladin. I won that. Round 2, I faced against Neo Nectar. I won that. Round 3, I fought against Oracle Think Tank. I won that. Round 4, I faced against Shadows. I won that. Round 5, I played against Kagero. I won that. Round 6, I played against Shadows. I won that. Round 7, I played against the AlphonZeus of Team Gradelock, playing OTT, and I lost that.
Because I was a sack.
And we were memeing, so we were both trying to make it to top 8, but we also both didn't want to play each other, so we were just memeing at that point. Round 8, we went against, I went against Bermuda Triangle, and I lost that. Top 8, I fought against Angel Feathers. I won that, barely. That was a game and a half. Top 4 was Bermuda's, again, my round 8 opponent, and I lost that. And the finals were Shadow Paladins, and I won that.
So how in the hell did you win against Shadow Paladins? Because I believe you told me earlier that Shadow Paladins was one of your not so good matchups.
Yeah, so that's the funny part, right? So I was telling Dan before the event started that theoretically, Shadow Paladins is one of the worst matchups for Bermuda, because if they commit to Phantom Blaster Dragon, they can wipe out your entire board, and if you commit it to board, you have nothing to rebuttal with the following turn.
Especially if you don't play that one.
Blue Girl, the Counterblast 3 to return 3 Melody cards to your hand.
Yeah.
My thought process going into it, though, was, okay, well, if they ride Phantom Blaster, I won't commit as hard. But if they ride Gust Blaster, I'm committing everything to board. And then Fina is super, super good against the Shadow Paladin matchup. More specifically, my round 6 opponent, who was on Gust Blaster, noticed that I had no cards in my hand, went to 2 cards in my hand through the drive check on my turn, but I had 3 Finas on board, decided to give his Gust Blaster something like 5 crits by retiring a lot of stuff, swinging in, and I just go, okay, Fina intercepts for 30k, Fina intercepts for 20k, that's no pass. So, overall, I would say for the Shadow matchup, it's a resource game. Just don't be stingy. Be stingy if you can. Don't commit as hard. And then when you feel like you have the opportune time to push them, push them. Yeah. I also want to say Kagero is one of my worst matchups, but then again, I also won against Kagero.
I mean, you are the clan master of Kagero for us, so.
Yeah, but I also feel like because Kagero retires stuff, it's a harder matchup. Yeah. And then Waterfalls was really annoying, especially since they can no, they can't. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. They can retire Fina. So the intercept kind of hurts.
Grade 2 or up.
Yeah, so. My Angel matchup, I actually want to especially point out, because I was grade stuck at 0, and I don't know how I won that. It was kind of a miracle, to be honest. Yeah. Shout outs to the Angel Feather player, you know who you are. And then finals, I went against Shadow Paladins again, but that did not go how people think. He was gradelocked at 0 for a whole turn. I then proceeded to... My deck literally gave me everything I wanted. Everything I wanted. They're like, okay, you want that draw 1, pitch 1 for your grade 1 ride? Yeah, you got that, buddy, no problem. Oh, you want a Lizolet for your ride? Okay, no problem. Oh, you want another Lizolet? Okay, you got that. Here's a Seer for you. All right, cool. You want Sonatas? Here's 2 Sonata. Here's 1 Sonata off your Seer. You got it. Drive check. Oh, cool, 2 Karos. All right, that's fine, no problem. All right, we got you, bro. Next turn, ride Sonata. Okay, cool.
Unga bunga.
I think he's dead.
Exodia Obliterate?
Yeah, so overall the deck is really good. My comments would be, just be mindful of your resources, and try to be aware of specific matchups.
Would you ever tech in? Because granted, because the 2 grade 3s that you did include, one that is the on-play soul charge one for resources is alright. But the other one, the Counterblast 3 one, would you ever consider teching it in as a one-of?
I mean, if I know I'm going against Shadow Paladins all day, maybe. But, I mean, my thought process behind this was, I'm going to gamble on the fact that they don't have Phantom Blaster, because it's best of 1. In a Bushiroad event, when you're just... It's a best of 1, might as well just gamble and see what'll happen. And most of the time, in fact, actually all the time, it went into my favor. So, Shadow Paladin should theoretically have a bad matchup. But if you're willing to gamble, it'll pay off. I guess that's...
For clarification, Shadow Paladin should be a bad matchup.
But it wasn't, so... I won all my Shadow Paladin matchups.
That's
which was
wild.
Yeah.
It's also not the format for Blue Girl.
Yeah, it's not the format for Blue Girl. It honestly isn't. Like, just because it's just one card, you can't
You can't play a 1-of for 1 match.
Yeah, it doesn't theoretically work out. So you're normally gonna want.
Our sideboard.
You're normally gonna not want to commit as hard. Overall, closing thoughts I would like to say is this. I personally had a phenomenal time yesterday. Shout outs to everyone at the event. Everyone was super nice and super kind. Shout outs to everyone who said congratulations to us today at the premium event. And shout outs, more importantly, to the family here at Team Gradelock. Everyone here, I love you guys all. I appreciate you all. Yeah, that's it.
Alright guys, remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And of course, I'm going to tell you to hit the bell button, even though I don't care, but who, you know who cares? Mama John. So hit the bell button because he cares. I don't care. And of course,
YouTube cares too.
yes, YouTube cares actually. So remember guys, I will see you guys next time.
Deuces!
Deuces.
I hate all of you.
You're welcome.
The camera was hit.